So in today's video, I wanted to break down or go in an overview sense on the new Mental Health manga. So the manga recently released and it was pretty enjoyable overall, and there's two parts. So I'm gonna leave the second part to another video so I can be a bit more concise on this one or on this part. So the first thing that we're shown is a bit of exposition or a bit of an introduction, which I really like that it's going really a bit concise. Like there's no extra facts. It really just shows Shoho's character, her abilities, and her companion Junko, which I really do like that it's a bit more straightforward, no extra fact. And I really do like the volume for this because there's so much in this already. And we do see that in the first part that Shoko is actually with her clique. And I really do like this part where she's essentially giving them advice. Now, Shoko is always kind of portrayed as a bit controlling or a bit abusive of her power as a level 5, of her brainwashing and such, and her overall power as the queen of Tokyo. But in this chapter, we get to see a different side of her. We see this side of her that's a bit more caring, and a bit more like she tries to analyze stuff. And I really do like that she can kind of tell when someone in her clique is a bit when they're a bit more privileged. And I really like how she's a bit more down to earth compared to the rest of her clique. And I really like her personality here, that she's a bit hands off but still cares about her clique, that she's willing to give some advice. And I think that's pretty heartwarming, honestly. And we do see in the beginning as well that Shokuho and Junko do have this moment together where they're spending time together, and Shokuho kind of teases Junko about an indirect kiss. And I really like that it's overall a positive volume, but it still has those seeds for conflict and the story. And I really like how the first chapter really is a bit concise, which is something I really like. Now, we do see primarily our antagonist, or a rival of sorts. We meet this girl of another clique and the vice president. She's kind of spreading news or kind of going to clique. And I really like the parallel between this new girl and Shokuho and how they kind of approach the clique. One is a bit more like hands off but still cares, while the other one is a bit more controlling, a bit more abusive. And you see this side of her or this new girl, that kind of tries to bribe people to join. And I like how Shokuho is like pointing this out. And there's a bit animosity between the two, or like their banter. This new girl is a bit more like she's pissed at Shokuho, since Shokuho is really pushing her buttons in a way that she's really stating the facts instead of going around it or beating around the bush. And I like that the new girl is like trying to essentially tease Shokuho in a similar way to Misaka, which is an interesting parallel. And I like that Shokuho's personality overall is that she doesn't care. And this kind of goes into a pretty funny scene where we see the two of them essentially sitting on top of both a chair that the clique made for Shokuho and the maid of the new girl. And this was pretty funny, but the primary setup for the plot lines for the arc is interesting in itself. We do see that this new girl kind of challenges Shokuho to run for student council president. And the one thing that's shown is that if this new girl wins and the vice president wins, she'll break up the cliques. And it's an interesting plot thread, and I like that the clique itself is a bit more like they're more shocked than Shokuho, and that they were actually the ones that got Shokuho to join in the first place, since Shokuho herself didn't really care all that much, which was a bit of a surprise in my opinion. And this kind of competition is a bit more like a bit hardcore, since one of the vice president's members in her clique actually went into the Shokuho's clique and acted as a spy, which I find to be a bit more hardcore, but a bit more like, really, Mo? Is this really what you're doing? And I got the feeling of, really, you're going this far? And I find that really funny to me. And the volume overall really is good because it's pretty concise, and really goes into what people want, a bit more of Shogo's character, the current plot thread, and for future plot thread as well. So I'm really happy for this volume. As I've said, part 2 is out in a few days, I guess, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the video and leave a like and subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.